Hey, I'm Melissa R. Thompson, or M for short, and as you may know, I'm an artist. Or you could probably get that from the speed paint in the background. And I've been drawing for about a decade, ever since middle school. I honestly started drawing because I was into anime as a kid, and that hyperfixation turned into fan art. And as my skills and time moved forward, I started making fan comics and found new inspiration creating stories. And now I've picked up video creation to challenge myself in a different medium. Honestly, being creative is and will always be my passion, and once I get the understanding of one, I like to push myself forward even further. Making content and art is a way for me to express myself and connect to a community who always enjoy my silly creations. I wouldn't have it any other way. So what's the deal with artificial intelligence? With the sudden surge of popularity in AI generation, more artists are rightfully worried about their work being stolen to train machines that could be leveraged by big companies for work that could cost pennies on the dollar and cut a majority of the human aspect from the creative process, whether that be voice acting, art, music, or writing. It seems any and all creative work will be targeted. Just recently, we had an AI-generated commercial for Coca-Cola, a multi-billion-dollar company that couldn't be bothered to hire real artists or people in general to create a shameless Christmas ad. And with this being a campaign to push for more AI-generated media, it's possible more will show up in the future, all while it negatively affects human jobs and the environment. Of course, it's not just the companies interested in AI. We also have AI image generators who have taken over platforms with AI-generated images to promote Patreons, merchandise, commissions, and/or projects. And don't even get me started on faceless YouTube channels that generate low-effort content with the goal of making as much content as possible. It seems creative work has become a mainstream product that holds no respect for the creator, as it is turned into a manufactured media that can be turned out in minutes, if not seconds, to appeal to a consumer base that needs constant distractions and stimuli at a constant pace. And maybe that's why art has such a big target on its back. Historically, it's always been easy to take advantage and undervalue artists and their creators who just want to create for the sake of creating. You can't really create if you don't have food on the table and rent to pay, and as much as art is important to the human expression, it is also the most dismissed and ignored pursuit a human can do. Art is usually unsustainable since the creation of a work costs the artist's time and money to create. Art then becomes something that is high risk on the creator's end, as not every work will be noticed or rewarded. Or you give people with business and marketing experience control over your art to make it sustainable. Now that's how you make a living while creating. Think every entertainment agency or seller. And since art depends on entrepreneurship to survive, it would be detrimental to the artists if they were taken out, if it saved a bit of money. Not having to pay an artist to create while keeping the element of art seems amazing on a business standpoint. And the very algorithm that AI generators use to create images comes from the machine that steals and combines all of the art that has come from passionate artists. Now, from that whole rant, you can probably guess I'm not the biggest fan of AI generation. I know there are a couple of artists that have come out recently in support of AI, and it's just the same points in each argument. AI can be used as a tool to make the creative process faster, which just means they trace or use AI in a major point of their work because they hate the creative process. AI helps me express myself. Well, it's hard to credit yourself as a true artist if the machine did most of the work. AI will take over eventually, so we might as well adapt to it. And honestly, I don't believe that's the mindset for being replaced. But I ain't no saint either. When AI generation was still in its early stages, I also tried it out. At the time, I saw AI was responsible for some uncanny image generations, and at the time I was working on a horror comic that needed a couple of new monster designs. Being stuck on thinking of new designs, I decided to try out this new technology that everyone was talking about. Now, I had an idea of what I wanted to create, but I needed some blanks to be filled in, and was severely disappointed as the designs didn't spark anything in me. I ended the experiment and just went back to the drawing board. I've also tried ChatGPT, but quickly got bored of it. Having said that, I don't really see the appeal of it. The only creators that would benefit are people who need content as fast as possible to keep up with the constant uploading schedule. No one needs AI to help in their art journey because everything AI can provide is already accessible with a simple Google search, whether it's poses, references, color palettes, or ideas. Unfortunately, as an artist, not all people really care about the work and time you put in, so you may get comments like, "Who cares if my media is AI? It's still content," or "I don't care if art is created by AI, as long as it's posted regularly." And if artists are getting messages like this, I just want to tell you that those people aren't the people you want as an audience. They won't see your content and art as anything in their eyes. It's just mindless slop to consume and scroll past. And that's the thing, people who see AI as a way forward or the next step in the creative process, or at least don't really care about what they consume. And people who defend AI usually use the comparison of, this is the camera of the modern times that replaced realistic art, or the telegraph that replaced the Pony Express. They don't actually use the Pony Express as an example, they usually use the train, but I like using this one. These are inaccurate comparisons, as the camera did not replace artistic value to traditional or digital art. It is just a new category of art. Also, those in the Pony Express were put through hostile environments, both horse and rider, so it needed a different system to change for the better. The creation of art is meant to express something to the world, whether it's fan art or an abstract piece of work. And yes, I will compare my fan art to masterpieces because who else will express their cringe and delusions like me? Not AI. Once art becomes a content farm that is exploited for the sole purpose of money and engagement, are we really finding connection? I, for one, remember going to Tumblr in middle school and finding fan comics of my favorite shows and getting to interact with the fandom through my own art. Even when it wasn't good, I had a community who would praise and support my work as my art continued to improve. When we raise the concern of AI, it looking bad is not the issue. It's because it's lazy, generated, mindless slop. I personally will never see the point of AI art or the optimization of it if it cuts out the artist. I just hope everyone can see the cost of AI and continue to appreciate art like before. And a big disclaimer before I end this video, no, I do not mean the AI tools used to cover repetitive tasks that are only to help and elevate a work like Spider-Man to the Spider-Verse or Klaus. Those tools are like the equivalent of physics simulation or 3D models used in artwork and comics. It's not replacing the artist if it's merely assisting. Thanks for listening to me ramble. I hope you enjoyed my art of Starscream in the background while I gave a serious talk about the negative effects of AI generation. Can't drive home a point if you don't draw your favorite character as a cat in a Santa costume. And if you did like the finished artwork, then check out my socials, link in description. I think my content's right up your alley. And with that, I hope you be safe and have a good day. See you in the next one.